to some of these other guys as Chuba Hubbard gets the step on Walker. And why not? We'll just dump this one off, get it to Bateman, who will pick up some yards, though he's a little bit shaken up after that play. It is 2nd and 11, and a sack. It's Hartwell. Injuries as we check this one down. Chuba Hubbard breaks a tackle, bursts to the outside. Can he get by Stokes? No, but it's a big play that leads to another injury for us. 1st and 10, down to the 35, and they have Watson downfield and taking the lead. Defense right now, as it is another miss in the gap. Up, we'll stick with apparently a throw. We were supposed to hand it off. Instead, it's picked. As they go with, I think, their own RPO. Ball pops out. We pick it up. It's Stockton trying to find the space to the outside, but we're down to the 11 with the offense heading out. Callaway decides here, down the middle, we will tie this game up. Anyone downfield to make a play as we get it out. It's picked to seal it. Defense improved their pass coverage in the first half. Their second half, not very good. And that game would end our 9-game winning streak as we would drop one of the trap games eventually. The prior 3 to that one were all close, and we definitely struggled in this one primarily due to us not being to overcome injuries. But those injuries, they're not going anywhere as Bateman, he tore his pectoral. His season is done, out for 27 weeks. Could take him to the beginning of the preseason next year. On top of that, we are going to be missing Chuba Hubbard, though this is not the same injury from the last game. He actually got hurt in practice, high ankle sprain, so we will be without our best offensive threat. We're also going to be without Sidney Brown, who was injured last game as well. Abdominal tear, he's out for 3 games. And Max Clifton, who was injured a couple games ago, he's still out with a foot fracture. So we are missing some really key guys, but luckily for us, we're not the only team missing someone, as the 49ers are missing one of the league's best in Christian McCaffrey. A big injury for him this year, a complete PCL tear. He's been out for a good little while and will continue to be out. So with those holes we need some guys to step up. Barry did not do particularly well last game, though. I think it also came down to us not adapting our play calling to better suit the talent that we then had following the injury. So need to do better for Barry in this game, as well at receiver. Bateman is out. Chenault, he's really been a slot receiver for us, and Mingo has not taken much advantage of any of his opportunities. But with Bateman out, Mingo will still be out there. However, we are not going to be going with Juwan Jennings at the other receiver spot. Instead, we're going to give an opportunity to these young receivers. See if any of them can do something with this opportunity. They all have fairly decent hands, all pretty similar across the board. They have some decent short route running, medium, not too bad. There's one good deep route runner in Chason, at least for his skill level at a 72, and at least Chason as well as Scruggs have good release. Howard, he's definitely more of a slot guy, but I definitely want to see what Scruggs as well as Chason could do, just to see what we have at the bottom of this roster, because so far this season, these two have not gotten an opportunity. And speaking of opportunity, we're going to give another game to Jordan Thomas at tight end 1 before we really lock it in on what we're going to be doing getting into the playoffs, as once again, we are a game away, a win away from solidifying our spot in the playoffs. So we're going to give Thomas that 3rd start, see how well he does, and maybe we go back to Likely, or I don't know, kind of just play the hot hand there perhaps. Now, as for the 49ers team, they are still really good. One of the league's best rosters. However, they are 4-9 this year, probably due to Christian McCaffrey being out. Brock Purdy is now their main guy on offense. We'll see how he does today. He's an 88 overall at this point of his career. They will be without CMC, so instead they have a rookie in Matt Toller, as well as Kendre Miller. As for their receivers, it's Brandon Ayuk, their highest rated actually, at a 95, then Deebo Samuel, then their 3rd guy is going to be John Mechie III. They also have Rodney Bell as well. Tight end, George Kittle. That's all you really need to know there. They also have a rookie in Joey Stallworth. Their trenches, not too bad. They got a couple options here at left tackle in Dexter Gallery, 2nd-year guy, or Taylor Lewan, the veteran. Moving towards the interior, have Aaron Banks, a 75. Center is Jake Brendel, a 70. And then you have a right guard in Burford, a 75. So nothing dominant for this offensive line as we finish off with a rookie right tackle in Kendrick Maynard, who's a 74, though they still may end up going with Lawan over him. Getting to their defensive side, this is where they're probably their best. You got Chase Young, a 93. Opposite side, Nick Bosa. Then down the middle, you have Hargrave, a 78. Pretty solid guy, plus a rookie in Carlos Starks, who has some decent strength to his game. As for the edge guys, you have Zach Bond, a 73. Then on the opposite side, you got Dre Greenlaw, an 86. Fantastic guy. And then, of course, you got Fred Warner right down the middle. And to make matters worse for us, they have a really good rookie linebacker as well in Eric Edwards out of Wisconsin, a 77. As for their DBs, it starts with Lenore, an 82, then Leonard, a second-year corner, and a 79. They're not great for these slots, so we might need to target that area a little bit more today. As for these safeties, they do have Brown, a 76, and then Hufunga, a 95. He's a fantastic guy, so attack the free safety and the slot. If we get anything downfield, we're going to try to keep things a little bit shorter, quicker today. So while obviously the 49ers, fantastic roster, again, they have not done well, 4-9 this year, it's technically a trap game. But is it really when you compare rosters? Plus, we have to overcome injuries ourselves, so let's jump on in and see how well we adapted from last week, learn from our mistakes, and put that in play against, again, one of the league's best rosters, the 49ers. Let's get this away contest underway as it's booted off by Moody. We got Johnson back to return, and he will return. Look for some blocks down the middle, slips one, finds a little bit of a gap though, only gonna get an extra 4 on that return as the offense will head out starting at the 29. Now again, we need to see what changes this offense made coming into this week, knowing that we're gonna have to change things up as we do not have our safety net in Hubbard. We start off with a run play 1 going to Barry. Outside of him, I also want to make sure we get our tight ends well involved, and then again, we'll see if any of these young receiver types can make some plays as well. We can't even complete our first pass, swatted away in the face of Young. But we will see Scruggs come out for that third receiver option as Mingo kind of moves over to the outside top guy as we look for him here, and just not on the same page with Young. Backed up at the 34, gonna have to punt. So it's definitely not a great look there for the first time out with our offense. See if that improves as we move throughout. 49ers, they start now as they go with a run down the middle and eating up Miller. Loss of 1. Credit that tackle to Sweat. You know, we obviously brought back Grover Stewart this year. We drafted Castaneda, but Sweat still finds time to make some big plays. As it's 2nd and 11, pass rush, Sweat nearly got back there. Purdy first to throw it away. But honestly, it's nothing really new for Sweat. That was the play we saw last year that earned him a contract extension as he was a UDFA. 3rd and 11, they're sending everyone downfield. McCullough does not contain the outside, but pass rush does get there, forces another throwaway, and the defense will get off the field. So we start off with a pretty quick exchange of possessions, and then our offense could head out, starting with pretty good field territory here, up at the 47. We're gonna motion out Callaway. Look to get Barry to the outside if we could seal any of the edges. Decent gain there on play 1, a gain of 4. Now we just need to make sure we actually build upon it this time, as we started last drive with a gain of 5, then went nowhere. Bring out the heavy tight end look. Got the drag to the outside. It's going to be likely. First down gained and across to the 37. Again, we're looking for those short, quick, get it out. But we also going to have some deep route options, though they're just not going to primarily be the main read. As we'll just dump this one off, get it to Hayden Hurst, who will pick up 8 and out of bounds. And this team has a lot of good options. We just have to be able to utilize them. As we see Fred Warner stepping down here, see if we could get a cross over the top if they send the blitz, though they back out of it. And we need to find somewhere to go. Young throws a pick instead of just throwing it away. Those are the mistakes we've got to get rid of. Too often when he has no option, he just throws it, hoping his guy's going to make the play rather than just playing smartly. Something we definitely need to improve upon. As they go deep downfield, it's Ayuk who just could not haul it in. Pass underthrown, Shepard and another teammate knock it away. We could credit ourselves a little bit lucky with that. 2nd and 10, a tight shotgun look here. As they look to open up some running lanes, Stockton stuffs it. And it's been a good little while since we've seen a healthy, fully active linebacker group, because when that team is rocking in full, they look really good. However, again, injuries have been a concern this year, and we give up the first down across the middle, finding Mechie up to about the 50. When you have linebackers that maybe play 2-3 games, then are out a game or two, you're going to have lapses in coverage like that. As they look for another run, it opens up right down the middle. Kendre Miller getting taken out by Shepard. He nearly broke that one. We took a good look at the roster for the 49ers at the beginning, and yeah, their offensive line, they're a solid group. One of their young guys at tackle, also, he's a superstar as they go with the RPO out to Kittle. Only a gain of 3. And today's main goal is limit those little shifty plays like that. They got a lot of playmakers on this team that they're going to try to find unique ways to get them open, or if it's through their hands, I'll take that too. That'll end up leaving them with a 3rd and 7 at the 28. We send a little bit of a blitz. They go out wide, and it's Newsome with a toe taps pick at the 5. We'll keep some points off the board. Every drive has been the same for both teams so far. Quick 3 and out, and then a pick. In a manner of ways, I guess you could say consistency is how we begin this game. Offense starts backed up, look for a weak side run. Barry lowers the shoulder, kept the legs moving a little bit, we'll pick up 3. Now, honestly, in a pretty similar fashion to what we were talking about in needing to stop with our defense, we might need to incorporate with our offense a little bit of some RPOs. As we go back to Barry, he picks up another 3. We talked a little bit about it. I think it was actually in the post following the episodes the day after, where some play calling last week definitely could have been better. We came up with some good ideas. As Young scrambles, he tried to slide, but instead he takes the hit. No problem, 1st down. But that is definitely something we will look to do in this game. Try to get some options for us, as we have one dialed up here. Depending on what that corner does, will depend on what we do. We hand this one off. Barry bursts through the gap, a gain of 9. He's had some interesting games for us. When he's got the start, he's been pretty solid. When he's been the number 2 guy, he hasn't quite got going. I think it just comes down to just getting into the flow of the game. As we swing this one out, Chenault, a beautiful juke before he gets slammed down by Chase Young. But it's a 1st down for us, as we got maybe one more play left here this quarter. See if we could get Chenault downfield, one of our deeper options here. Mingo gets the step, the burst by Hufanga, 10-5, diving into the end zone. That is what we need to see from Mingo. He normally will get one of these a game, but at wide receiver 1 today, he needs more. And not only was that a great way to end the offensive lull, but a great transition into the second quarter, as the 49ers offense will start us off. Hopefully we see a good bit more of the better play from our defense. Second drive had a little bit of some hit or miss. Third drive starts with a shotgun look. Throw to Kittle, nearly stolen away by Shepard, but it hits the turf. Now, of course, with the injury to Brown, that does put Shepard back out there. He was benched last game, as we do get a decent stop down the middle there. Gain of 3, bringing up 3rd and 7. But honestly, we've seen a lot of rotation from that safety group, linebacker group. Not a lot of rotation from the defensive line this year. That group is really the only one that's been pretty solid, as that timing is impeccable. Perfectly timed throw to the outside on the cut. They find Samuel. But after throwing to the same guy for that at least 3-4 years now, yeah, you kind of expect you have that cadence built up. As Miller breaks through a couple arm tackles, he's still going. Newsome dives, misses, and we've got to clean up the tackling. San Fran levels this one up as we give up yet another big play just due to a bad tackling. We're good for a couple of those a game. Offense, we got to see another good drive here. Start with a run. Barry nearly got by Bond there, but not quite. But as long as we get our power back, picking up 3-4 consistent yards, pretty solid. Though we look to go with a pass this time around. Barry does not get a step on Hufanga, throwing it out and just too far out in front of Chenault. Typically, we actually see better accuracy from Young when rolling to the right-hand side. That one, not quite so much, as the halfback screen is broken up by, I think, a shoulder of either Young or our tackle. We will not answer back, and we will have to punt. So let's just see if we could limit the big play this time around as they go right back to Miller. He will pick up 3. If we can just limit the big play, the little dink and dunk play shouldn't be a problem for us. We have the speed to capitalize off of that. Leaves us, though, with a 2nd and 7. They're going to the outside. Cash ends up with it. It's underthrown. Try to find some space as Juszczyk gets the tackle. That is what we need from the corners. Make them throw the perfect deep ball. We could sit underneath all we want. As long as the defense makes the plays, then the offense, they should as well. We start at the 41 with a little bit of some play action. See if we can get some guys going downfield. Lay it up for Hurst, and that one was barely laid up. Greenlaw, half a second quicker, that might be a pick. But football is not only a game of inches, but a game of split seconds as well, as we keep with the same look. Go with the run, and Greenlaw meets us that time. No gain. So let's try to go back to what we were talking about earlier on. A little bit of some RPO dialed up. We can get out to Chenault if we need, or keep it with a handoff. Mitchell actually blocked 2 separate guys. However, the center did not do his job. Typically not a problem with David Andrews, but that time he missed it. 3rd and 9. Chenault towards that back pylon. Looks nice. Scruggs also potential, though they just have a single high safety. Wanted to cross the face, but instead the hit sends it straight to Greenlaw. Scruggs comes back to get the tackle. That's a Madden pick there for you. Intend that ball to go about 15-20 yards further downfield, but it just ends up teleporting straight to the linebacker. Greenlaw makes his play after all as Castaneda misses the tackle. Should have been a TFL. Instead, we have to get Cash coming in to clean it up. Leaves them with 2nd and 6. They have multiple running backs out here. See what they end up doing. Going with a throw, crossing, leaves things open for Debo, who will pick up a big chunk to the 48. That's definitely a formation where they're just trying to work the mismatches. Either way, it works out well for them. They got 2 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left here as Purdy making some checks at the, not really the line, as that one's knocked out. Good timing from Newsome. We definitely have not made it easy for Purdy to start off. 4 of 12. As long as we keep that kind of trend going, we should do all right. Though Purdy looks to scramble here, put some hits in. Well, we got some, but he holds on to it. End up picking up a decent little bit there, leaving just 2 needed on 3rd as they go back to that split backfield. Purdy again making some checks. We send a blitz, all picked up well, and they get it to Kyle Juszczyk. 1st down to the 35 as we hit the 2-minute warning. In this one, we've gotten pretty lucky with some turnovers. Might need more to keep some points off the board here before halftime. As they drive it in on the curl, they find Debo down to the 15. Today, we need St. Juice to be at his best, facing off against a really good wide receiver core, and just more than receivers, just receiving talent. Tight ends, running backs could even pitch in as well. Fullback, as they go downfield, it's Shepard who cannot join the pick party. He should have had that one, but off the fingertips brings up 2nd and 10. A bunch to the right-hand side, Debo to the left. As they drive that one in, it's through the hands of Mechie. He got scrunched. Now we just need 1 more play here. We could force a field goal. I'll take that. They got 2 to the right, 1 to the left, split backfield. They swing it out. It's Miller around the edge. He watched McCaffrey do that quite often, and he performed that to perfection. The 49ers, they take a 14-7 lead, but we have 1 minute, 11 seconds, and all 3 timeouts to try to answer back. We start spread. We talked about wanting to attack that free safety spot. Well, we could do it here as we find Thomas takes a couple pop shots up to the 45. Let's get back to it quickly. See what adjustments they make. Single high safety as they shade one over to Mingo's side. See if that opens up Chenault. Safety, actually corner ends up dropping with it. Young just goes to scramble, pick up what he can as it's a foot race bumped out by Bosa at the 37. Ended up having to run a country mile for that gain as they stick with a similar look. Once again, stacking the coverage on Mingo. He's our deep shot here. Looks like that's actually working out pretty well for us. Young looks to scramble again. We'll pick up the first down to the 24. We call a timeout, 33 seconds left. And we'll change up the look following. We got two spread either side. Barry possible. Gonna put him on Greenlaw. Actually, no, it's gonna be on a safety as Young just forced to scramble anyway. Line does not hold up. We get down quickly once again and call our second timeout. Right now, Young having to scramble more than throw. As we are closer to the end zone now, we could possibly do some running, though we also have the RPO dialed up. See how well that actually fits as we squeeze it in. Please hit the turf. Thank you. That was closer than what you would like. Nearly finding Thomas there, then nearly finding the defender. 23 seconds left. They cover the little zig, and yeah, beautiful job there from Young on Young. Straight through. I'm pretty sure it was a double team. This is where we have to have the touchdown. 3rd and 11. We got 18 seconds left in the half. Going to depend on what the outside corner does. We got Thomas going towards that back corner as he steps down, but then goes back. Either way, it was a catchable ball, but Thomas just didn't catch it. Leonard ends up knocking it away, and we have to send out Ford. Not the points we were looking for here at the end, but we will take them. Make it 14-10 at half. All in all, it's been a good battle. We've left a lot out there with our turnovers, but honestly, the 49ers, they could say the same exact thing because they've had bad turnovers as well. Things to clean up from both sides, though. Hopefully we do better at that than they do. As we take a look around the league, let's see what's happening late on this season. First up, we have the Saints visiting the Cardinals, and they are up 10-7. They are 6-7. And if we could, again, find a win today, we will lock down our division and clinch our playoff spot. Though that cannot be said for the next teams, as we have the Rams and Commanders, neither one of them having a good year. Rams up. And then lastly, we got the Buccaneers and the Falcons. And the Falcons, they squeeze out the win, 21-14, putting them second in the division. But we know what we need to do today, and that is pull off a win, and it starts on defense this second half as the 49ers making a change here. They got only one receiver out there, starting with a run. Miller breaks through the first contact, even the second contact. We've got to clean up this tackling. Most of the time, we do pretty well, but we keep giving up the large chunks after contact, and that we've got to get rid of. As they go with the RPO themselves, and Kittle breaks the contact again. Not going to break that one as Gardner Johnson chops out the legs. Must have learned that from his time with the Lions. We all know what we're talking about. 1st and 10 either way here for the 49ers. As they drive that one across the middle, a diving catch from Ayuk. First down at the 46. Now, we've definitely had games this year where defense, more specifically the coverage, does really well the first half, not so much the second. Need to make sure we don't start giving up big plays. Not able to knock that one away. Shepard on Kittle. But as long as we just make every single catch tough for them, that'll be pretty good for us. 2nd and 3. They got an I form dialed up. We send a blitz. Hartwell puts a hit on him, and it's another pick. Newsome. Just again, applying that pressure, throws off the pass slightly, and we take advantage. Now we just got to make sure our offense takes advantage. We start down 4 here. Love to end this drive with a touchdown. Buried down the middle. Keep those legs moving, picking up 6. Obviously, he hasn't had as big of a game as their running back has, but still there's plenty of time left, and we got some press coverage on the outside here. Mingo will send you deep. Also have Thomas coming across. We do get a little bit of a step. Mingo then gets bumped off the route late. No flag. Not sure that was the proper call, but that what was called or not called Leaves us with 3rd and 4. Hard count, no one jumps. Need to get a block over to Warner, and we get it there, but Barry didn't quite trust it. He hesitated, leaves 4th and about a yard. But we still have about a 1.25 left in this one, so let's take a shot with time to spare. Callaway, dive down the middle, will pick up the 1st down. Sometimes you just gotta take some risk. Pans out well there for us as we change up the look with that fresh set of downs. A little bit of some play action. See if we can get Hurst downfield. He's wide open. Gonna be a nice chunk play to the opposite 31. Again, some of these crossing routes, they either just never open up or they open up big. 1st and 10 here for us. We stick with the same look. Got a couple different routes to the outside. We'll end up checking this one down for Barry. It was pretty barren in the middle. He'll pick up 8. While he is a power back, he also has some pretty good hands. So we'll try to get him out in space a little bit as well. Let him lower that shoulder. Halfback screen, try to utilize some blocks as he essentially was glued to Mitchell there. But it will get us down to the 16 as we got the RPO dialed up here. We could swing it out to Chenault, depending on what that corner does. He steps back, get it out there to the guy with a little bit of some speed down to the 2. This is honestly a really fun match because both of these teams are built very similarly. We have ourselves a 1st and goal. Just need to pick up some good blocks. Barry down the middle, pushing, but gets just about a yard, yard and a half. And while I kind of want to take a pop shot here, can the line hold up long enough to get Callaway open to the flat? A little bit of some play action roll. He's open, but no time to throw. Hufanga will get credit for most of that sack, though they had 2 defenders back there. But on 3rd and goal, we'll keep out our heavy tight end set. Literally every tight end we have. A little bit of some play action, and it's another sack. Line, you've got to hold up. Chase Young has had a fantastic game, and in real life, I don't feel like he really does anything. But we're making him look like Nick Bosa out here, who hasn't done much in this one. We draw it to a 1-point game. Well, that definitely feels like another instance in where we left some points out on the field. 1st and 10 for the 49ers. They got an I form dialed up, looking to throw, and just placed out where only Kittle could get to that one. Ends up moving up Purdy to 50% completed on the day. The defense is playing a winning game here. However, it's our offense that's been letting us down today. Hopefully the 4th quarter changes, at least the offensive side. Defense, keep rocking with what you're doing. It's 14-13 as they go with a dive down the middle of the Hughes check, stuffed by Stockton. Honestly, if they just want to do that the next 2 plays, I'll take it. It's 2nd and 8. The fullback is not out there as they will look to throw. Quick slant. Almost looked like it was dropped, but then Hodgins came in with the hit, and I think that put the ball back in Debo's hands. We'll end up barely getting the stop there. 3rd and 1, as it's a heavy set for both teams. They got 3 tight ends all spread to that left-hand side. We send the blitz, nearly get to Purdy, but he delivers the accurate ball this time to Stallworth. We did nearly walk away with a win last week, or at least have the opportunity for it last week, as the defense did get some big turnovers for us late. However, the last drive, when we needed them to stop the offense, they could not do it. Need to make sure we don't see that same thing happen, as now Odafe Owe shaken up. Well, that'll definitely shake some things up here for us. We're going to move the rookie McCullough over to his side, and we're going to just have a rotation over at the other side as it's through the hands of Kittle. Not one that you're used to seeing, but it could end up being really big for us. It is 3rd and 4, a bunch to the right-hand side. We look for a little bit of a play action as everyone is locked up. It's a throwaway defense. They get the stop, or at least that's what they did on 3rd down. 49ers, they keep their offense out there. We'll have to make sure we get one more play here as someone forgot to cover Kittle. He crossed 3 different players and no one took him. Absolute blown coverage there, and a fantastic gimme play for the 49ers as we send a blitz. Jordan does not seal the edge. They get it out to Mechie, who does not get the 1st down. They mark him 2nd and inches. And right now, the 49ers, they're taking up a good chunk of time as well. I formation. Though they go the stretch to the outside. Stockton a little slow to get out there. They break the tackle as St. Just. Hartwell gets him down at the 11. We could manage to give up a field goal. However, anything more than that makes it a tough situation as we're down 1 point. Would force a 2-point conversion with an extra point tacked onto a touchdown as they get it out to Kittle. And Preston Smith forgot how to tackle. It will be a touchdown. He had to come in due to the injury to Owe, and he leaves a massive disappointment there. Puts a lot more pressure on our offense, who hasn't scored a touchdown since Mingo's deep shot quite a while ago. Though we do have Thomas open, but that throw isn't going to get anywhere close to him. This is definitely not where we could afford for Young to start throwing ducks out there. He's also around that 50% today due to a lot of turnovers as well, as he looks to just get rid of it. The pocket ended up closing in rapidly on him. Leaves us with a 3rd and 10. Hard count, no one jumps. It's a heavy tight end set. Need a first down right down the middle. We find Hayden Hurst just in time. Let's get this rolling maybe a little bit quicker as they do make a change, switching the safeties. They bring Hufanga down. Got a little bit of some play action roll. Get this one out for Likely, who holds on to it. Just keep the train moving here. Try to see if maybe we could get our guy downfield in Chenault. Got a double move, though they're locking that one down pretty well. Buy some time. Get this one to Barry. We'll send everyone to the sideline, rotate the offense, or at least those that needed the breather will. Leaves us with 2nd and 5. We got Scruggs, the innermost slot. He hasn't gotten a catch today, hasn't gotten open yet today, but finds some space here. Up, down, but dropped. That is not how you make a good name for yourselves. 3rd and 5. Gotta have the first down here. We could toss it out to Scruggs or keep it down the middle with Barry. We'll keep it with Barry, and it's not close enough. 4th and 3. Gotta have it here. They bring down Hufanga to the right-hand side. Got a couple short options. Just need one of them to get open. It's out to Scruggs this time, and he holds on to it. And out of bounds, though not out of bounds. They let the clock keep rolling. All right, well then, we'll keep the offense out here. See if Chenault can find a little bit of some space. They switch off, put it out for him, but knocked away by Lenore. And we have a big injury in Aquanu. I'm just wondering, when is this injury bug going to go away? All of our guys keep getting just rocked. Barry on the angle route might be nice. We got to have something here. We get it to him, breaks a tackle or slips a tackle, more like it. We'll pick up the first down. Let's keep it moving here. Or actually, we'll let the 2-minute warning hit. We needed to catch our breath. Some guys are a little bit banged up there, so let's not force any mistakes by forcing the play. We need a touchdown. We need a 2-point conversion. We got a one-on-one to the left-hand side. Safety help over the top. Or we could try to toss this one up for Thomas, and maybe could have had it the second go-around, but didn't see it. We also need to make sure that we're not just forcing passes downfield. We got some timeouts. We could use up all the time remaining. Barry not getting very far against this defensive line. Honestly, Chase Young might be having a resurgent kind of style of game here, as we've got some deeper options, a couple underneath options. Don't need the touchdown here, but we would take it as it's tipped away from Mingo. And this did put us in a tough spot. 4th and 9. You could take the field goal, then try to get a stop and then get a touchdown, or you could just go for the touchdown, and we're going to be aggressive. Hard count, no one jumps. Need to find our guy. How about across the middle? It's off the hands of Thomas. A flag comes down, and it's a roughing the passer, bailed out. Can't believe we got that one, but we are taking out Thomas. He's had too many drops. We're bringing out Likely. We got an RPO dialed up. We'll hand it off down the middle. Barry will pick up a couple. Again, we could take as much time here. Obviously, we need the touchdown. We need the 2-point. But if there's no time left, then there's no time for them to find the winner. That's kind of the thought process. Tight look here. It's all covered up pretty well. Chucked up for Likely. He had it in his hands, but he doesn't bring it down. Hargrave injured on the play as well. Now, that was definitely also an example of Young not having many options and just putting it up there. Could have been costly. Luckily, it wasn't. We've got some options here, though. Try to shorten that route from Likely to have that option to the back corner. Zig taken away. Once again, pass rush is getting back here. We got to toss it away for a 4th and goal. Got to have the touchdown here. Got Chenault coming across the middle, Likely on a drag. Some other options as well. But we're going to make a change. I want an out route from Mingo. That might open things up a little bit. As we get this one out, it does not make it to Likely. The pass rush destroyed us again. Game is not over. We got 50 seconds left. We just got to make sure we get a quick stop on defense. We have all of our timeouts. We just don't like to make it easy on ourselves by any means. A great stop there. Timeout called. They're back at the 3. Now, if we press our luck here a little bit, try to get a sack, tackle for a loss in the end zone. As they hand it off, it's Juszczyk, a diving miss, and a first down that will pretty much seal this game. So many points were left out on the table today, and the guys that we needed to step up to make the plays, they really didn't today. Defense, they played a winning game today, but offense couldn't do anything with it. They got us a lot of turnovers, we couldn't score. And unless you're the Minnesota Vikings of this last season, you're not winning any games if you're not scoring. But once again, we're at a spot where we got to find a way to start fixing this team. We had a 9-game winning streak, but now the offense can't score. We can't stop turning the ball over. And every time we have someone actually having a decent game, they get injured. So we definitely need some help. We gave some of the younger receivers an opportunity today, and they only came away with 1 catch, 9 yards on it to Scruggs. The other guy in Chason didn't really get much of an opportunity in this game. Maybe we go more his way next game. But unfortunately, the guy we really needed to step up was Jonathan Mingo. And he had 1 touchdown today, fantastic, but that was his only catch on the day. Everything else went to tight ends, and we targeted Chenault a little bit, but he only ended up with 2 catches. So the entire offense clearly hinges on Chuba Hubbard, and without him, it's not really much of an offense. And because we've lost these last 2 games, we are still yet to clinch a spot in the playoffs, despite us being the 2nd best team in the league right now. The only other team doing better are the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bills, they were doing pretty well for a little bit. We beat them, then they were behind us for a little bit, then they jumped ahead of us, and now they're back down behind us. So we're not awful right now. We're 10-4. We're playing good enough to get to the playoffs. It's just with the current trend, might not be great in the playoffs. And one thing that could really hurt us when we get to the playoffs is the fact that we are very much a hurt team right now. Sidney Brown, again, still 2 games away. Bateman is done. Clifton 1 game from coming back. But Odafe Owe did dislocate his elbow in that game. He is done for the regular season. That opens up an opportunity for the rookie in McCullough to go to that right side of the line, or left side, depending on which way you're looking at it. But where Owe has been playing, and hopefully see better matchups for him to make some plays. He's gotten close to some sacks, but he hasn't gotten any yet, at least any solo. But we really do just have 3 games left, and after a 9-game winning streak, we're now on a 2-game losing streak. We can correct that against the Falcons, and again, a win there would clinch our spot in the playoffs. Fighting still for that 1 seed right now. It's still within grasp. Again, we just have to do our part. And hopefully the practice injuries are nice to us moving into this next game. We have Chuba Hubbard, and then with him, a little bit more of an offense. But clearly, when we do get to our next offseason, we've got to put better pieces around him so we're not relying solely on him. Let me know down below what positions you think we should be going after in the draft. And also, while you're down there, make sure you're hitting that bell icon or hitting that sub button so you stick around. And if you tap the bell icon as well, you'll be notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Plus, you have the state-only challenge every Wednesday and Saturday, which tomorrow we begin a new season, full off season, and the entirety of the regular season all in one episode. So do not miss that one. Grab a snack for it because those are typically longer ones. But next time we will be back with the Falcons, a game that we've got to get a win against to get us ready for the playoffs and to sweep another divisional foe.